I wake up at 8 o'clock. I have a shower at 8:15. I brush the teeth at 8:30. I go to school at 9:22. I arrive home at 2:15. I have lunch at 2:30. I have dinner at 9 o'clock. I go to bed at 11 o'clock.
I sometimes wake up at 7:30. I sometimes leave home at 8 o'clock. I always breakfast at 8 o'clock. I always brush my teeth at 8:45. I always have lesson at 9 o'clock. I sometimes wake up at 7:30. I sometimes leave home at 8 o'clock. I never catch the bus at 2 o'clock. I always eat at 2 o'clock. I always arrive home at 3 o'clock. I always use internet at 6 o'clock. I always have dinner at 8:30.
Usually wake up at 8 o'clock. Usually have breakfast at 8:15. I leave home at 8:30. I go to school at 9 o'clock. I reach dad's or mom's house at 3 o'clock. I go to football training on Mondays at 6 o'clock.
I make my bed at 8 o'clock. I have a shower at 8:08. I have breakfast at 8:15. I reach home at 8:08. I have lunch at 2 o'clock. I arrive home at.
I usually wake up at 8 o'clock. I usually have a shower at 8:10. I usually have breakfast at 8:20. I sometimes brush my teeth at 8:45. I always leave home at 5:50. I sometimes arrive home at 2:15. I usually have lunch.
I get up at 8 o'clock. I have breakfast at 8:15. I leave home at 8:30. I go to school at 9 o'clock. I study at 9:10. I arrive home at 2 o'clock. I have lunch at 2:15. I go to the swimming pool.
I get up at 8 o'clock. I always have breakfast at 8:15. I usually make the bed at 8:30. What I make the bed, I brush my teeth at 8:30. I leave home at 9 o'clock. I never catch the bus to go.
I always get up at 8 o'clock. I never make my bed. I usually have breakfast at 8:30. I usually leave home at 8:45. I sometimes go to school at 9:10. I always have lessons at 9 o'clock.
I wake up at 8 o'clock. In the morning, have breakfast at 8:15. I go to school at 9 o'clock. I have a shower at school. I reach home at 2 o'clock. In the afternoon, I have lunch at 2:15. I make up at 8 o'clock. I have breakfast at 7:45. I go to school at 9 o'clock. I have lunch at 2 o'clock.
Up at 8:15. At make me bed at 8:15. I brush my teeth at 8:30. I left home at 7:08. I arrive home at 2 o'clock.
Get up at 8 o'clock.
I get up at 8 o'clock. I make bed at 8:15. I brush my teeth at 8:30. I go to school at 8:15. I arrive home at 2:10. I watch my TV at 5.
I wake up at 8:15. I have breakfast at 8:20. I never catch the bus to school. I have lunch at 2:30. After dinner, I watch TV at 9:30.
I always wake up at 8 o'clock. I sometimes have a shower 7 o'clock. I leave home at 4 o'clock. I have lunch at 2 o'clock. I watch TV at 5 o'clock.
In the morning, I wake up at 8:30. And I have breakfast. Then I have lessons. In the afternoon, I have lunch at 3 o'clock. And I do homework. Then
I usually wake up at 7 o'clock. Then I have a shower. I have a shower once a day. I make my bed twice a week on weekend. I leave home at 5 to 9. I never catch the bus because I live near the school. I usually arrive home at 2 o'clock. Then I get up at 8 o'clock.